Look at verse number 4. Who art thou that judgest another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth, yea, he shall be holden up, for God is able to make him stand. You know what God is trying to do? Causing each one of us to stand firm. God is trying to make us all to grow and to be like Christ. But when we find a brother or sister not walking the way that we think they should be, we want to tear them down. We want to judge them. And God is trying to lift them up, and you're trying to tear them down. Who are you to judge another man's servant? Who are you to judge another family? Who are you to judge other people's children? Leave them alone. Practice individual soul liberty. I promise it'll make you much happier. It'll give you so much more peace in life. Verse number 5. One man esteemeth one day above another. Another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. We just had Christmas. Some people want to celebrate Christmas. Some people don't. Some people are indifferent. Who cares? Some people want a Christmas tree. Some people don't. It doesn't matter. Someone wants to elevate one day above another. We've got Australia Day coming up. You want to enjoy Australia Day, go out with your family, enjoy the public holiday, and celebrate Australia for at least being one of the best countries in the world at the very least? Go for it. Another says, you know what, I don't like Australia, I don't like the wicked laws, I don't like our wicked government, I can't celebrate Australia. Well, don't celebrate Australia then. It's up to you. Okay, and if someone invites you for Australia Day, hey, come over to my house and let's celebrate Australia Day. Come over for a lunch, and you go, I don't celebrate that. Well, who cares? All right, just say, look, thanks for the invite, but I've got other plans. How about that? Okay, my other plans are not to celebrate. Instead of making people feel like they're rubbish for esteeming one day above another. Everyone, it's up to you. Up to you how you decide to do things. Up to you which days you're going to celebrate, right? Or not celebrate. Or just view every day alike. To me, every day is special because it's all been created by God. God's given us every day a new day to live life, a new day to serve Him. Let's keep going there. Verse number 6. He that regardeth the day, regardeth it unto the Lord. You might say, Australia Day, okay, I know it's a wicked nation. I know there are wicked laws. I know there are 250 abortions happening every single day in Australia. But I'm going to thank God for putting me in this nation. I'm going to thank God for the liberties that I have, that I can go soul winning. I have the liberties to go to church. I have the liberty to read my Bible without persecution. You might want to celebrate that. Celebrate unto the Lord. And he that regardeth not the day, to the Lord he doth not regard it. He that eateth, eateth to the Lord, for he giveth God thanks. And he that eateth not to the Lord, he eateth not, and giveth God thanks. For none of us liveth to himself, and no man dieth to himself. Now we're learning something else. Not only do we have the liberty to decide what to do, but we don't live to ourselves, and we don't die to ourselves. Meaning, yes, liberty is great, but now we have accountability for the way that we live. Okay, we're not living for ourselves, we're living for the Lord. How well are you living for the Lord? Okay, liberty is great. Woohoo! I got freedom. Yeah, but you're accountable to God for the decisions you make in life. Because it continues in verse number 8. For whether we live unto the Lord, and whether we die unto the Lord. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Lord's. For to this end Christ both died and rose and revived, that he might be the Lord both of the dead and living. Then verse number 10. So understanding this, okay, he's the Lord of the dead. He's the Lord of those that have passed away. He's the dead for those that are still alive. Okay, Lord means he's in charge. Lord means we're his servants. He's the boss. Therefore, we're accountable to him now with the liberty that he's given us. But then it says in verse number 10, but why dost thou judge thy brother? Why do you judge your brother? Why do you go home after church and say, I can't believe family so-and-so did X, Y, and Z at church, or I can't believe that this family doesn't eat around the dinner table like we do. I can't believe this family lets their kids go and play video games for 10 hours a week, whatever, I don't know. Okay, I can't believe, listen, forget it. But why dost thou judge thy brother? Leave him alone. They're accountable to God. They're living for the Lord. They're accountable to Him. Let God deal with them. Why dost thou judge thy brother? Or why dost thou set at naught thy brother? What does that mean? Why dost thou set at naught? Naught is zero. Why do you make them nothing to you? You know, when you start to judge your brother, when you start to criticize, you're saying they are nothing. They don't know anything. Look, I'm sure this sermon is going to touch someone here today. Because that's what churches are. We're all different people, individuals, families, and we're just very critical people. Saying, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. You are. So am I. Okay, individual solidarity is so important, though. Okay, to have unity in a church. All right, it's so important. You know, I want this in our statement of faith. I want people to, let's find about this church. All right, there's individual soul liberty. We're not here judging one another. We're leaving the judgment to God, is what we're doing. Okay, because it continues there. But why dost thou judge thy brother? Or why dost thou set at naught thy brother? For we shall all stand before the judgment seat of Christ. We're all accountable to Jesus Christ for the life that we live. You've got freedom. You've got liberty. Okay, I might not agree with you. All right, but God's going to judge you. Christ is going to judge you one day. Not whether you're going to heaven or not, that's a done deal. Okay, Christ has already given us liberty. He's already given us a home in heaven. Heaven is a done deal. But now, how is God going to reward you in eternity? Remember, we're commanded to lay up treasures in heaven and not on this earth. Well, depends on how you live your life. How much you served Him. How faithful you were toward Him. How well you kept His laws. How well you used the liberty that He gave you to serve Him. To serve one another. To love one another. He's going to judge you on that and reward you in heaven based on that. If you live for yourself, you take liberty and just give into your flesh, you'll still make it to heaven, but you won't have much up there. You won't have much to rejoice in for the work that you've done for the Lord. Okay, but we're all individually going to stand before this judgment seat. And to me, that's a humbling thought. To stand before Jesus, who gave His life for me, who paid for all of my sins, and then to say, what did you do for me? We believe that every Christian must obey God rather than men. You know what that means? That means you must obey God rather than me. I'm not God. Okay? Rather than men. It says, for all must answer to God before the judgment seat of Christ. Do you know you're all going to stand before the judgment seat of Christ individually? You're going to be judged by God, not for your sins, but you're going to be judged for what you've done on this earth individually before the judgment seat of Christ. Therefore, this is what it's going to say, therefore, no man nor church has the right to act as a person's conscience. Everyone has the right to read the scriptures and to choose how to respond according to its teachings. Now, if I was running a cult, I would hate this doctrine. Right?